What's going on, everybody? We're back here with another NFL game preview. In this game, we're going to be talking about the Broncos and the Chiefs. A game that's going to be played on Monday night. The Chiefs are coming off of back-to-back losses. A bad Thursday night loss to the Raiders, a game in which they should have won, but was extended about 3 or 4 different times at the end of the game there with a bunch of penalties. And they lost the week before. The Broncos are coming off a game in which they have a lot of questions. Is Trevor Siemian the answer? Is Paxton Lynch ever going to figure it out? Emmanuel Sanders is a huge loss. Anyways, let's jump into this game preview here. So this is a Monday night game. It's going to be played in Kansas City. I don't like the Broncos in this game. I'll tell you that straight up. The Chiefs should be playing angry here. They're 5-2 after starting the year 5-0. They've lost 2 in a row. The Broncos, on the other hand, I don't know about the Broncos right now. They started the season off great. They look like one of the top 10 teams in the league. Now they look like a 10 to 20 team in the league. That defense is still great. That offense needs to catch up. And that starts with finding a quarterback. Paxton Lynch, I don't know. I liked him coming out, but I don't know if he's the answer right now. And I sure as hell know Trevor Siemian is not the answer. I could have told you that. Do you go to Brock Osweiler? I don't know. There's just a whole lot of questions on that Bronco offense. One thing I will say is that offensive line is playing pretty well thanks to Ron Leary being a huge free agent signing for them. I think Ron Leary is a top-rated pass-blocking guard according to Pro Football Focus or Pro Football Outsiders. You know, all those things. But yeah, let's look at some matchups in this game. Matchup number 1. The outside matchups of the Broncos corners versus the Chiefs receivers. Now, Tyreek Hill has played really well. Honestly, he's probably been one of the best receivers in the league. In terms of yardage per catch type of stuff. He does make big plays in the passing game. Alex Smith has played really well. But this Broncos defensive backfield is still no joke. Keep Talib, Chris Harris, Roby Coleman, those guys are all really good. So they kind of make you have to run the ball. But even still, that front seven is really dominant too, led by Von Miller. They want to make you one-dimensional. They want to make you pass. This is the only team I think that makes people want to pass because of their secondary. Secondary is so dominant. I think that the Broncos have a clear advantage in this matchup, though. I think that with Akib, Chris Harris, Roby Coleman, even their safeties, they have a good shot. I think the one guy that they will have to look out for is Travis Kelce. He does like to make work over the middle of the field. He catches a lot of passes. He has a lot of targets. You got to keep him in check too. So it'll be interesting to see what the Broncos do in terms of their defensive scheme guarding against him. Our second key matchup here is going to be the Broncos offense versus the Chiefs defense. Now, this is a very, wide spectrum here. But the Broncos offense is not very good. I don't like the Chiefs defense this year, especially, I liked them to start the year when they had Eric Berry, Eric Berry is a very great safety in my eyes, in my opinion. He's one of the better guys in the league. When they lost him in game 1, it was kind of a huge blow to their defensive backfield. He kind of can cover tight ends. I'm not taking any shots at the safeties that are playing for the Chiefs, but yeah. The Broncos offense needs to figure it out. They need to find a way to get the ball to their players in space. Running the ball with C.J. Anderson. You can't give up on the run here. It's just something that you can't do in the NFL. You can't give up on the run. You have to continuously pound at it. If you're only averaging 3 yards a carry, you keep going, you keep going, 3 yards a carry, 3 yards a carry, 3 yards a carry. Yeah, you're going to be short every single time on 3rd down or 4th down, but it puts you in position for later in the game to whip out play action, go over the top of the defense, Demaryius Thomas is a very good receiver. I don't know if Emmanuel Sanders is playing. Outside of Demaryius Thomas, they don't really have anybody. So it's up to Trevor Siemian to find these guys and trust these guys and throw the ball to these guys, just let them make a play, I don't know if it's the Broncos offense. So, yeah. And our third and final key matchup for this matchup is going to be the special teams play. I don't really highlight special teams play, but special teams play is a huge matchup this week. So, it's just something that we're gonna have to look out for here, because if teams can flip field position, it's huge. Um, even force a turnover on the special teams play is a huge advantage here. Because of what can happen. Turnover on a special teams play on a punt totally flips field position to the other side of the field, where like the other team can already be in the red zone. Special teams play and turnover play go hand in hand almost in a way, because that's where a good amount of turnovers even come from, is on punts. So that's something that we're gonna have to look at here. So our 3 reasons why here for each team. Let's start with the Broncos. 3 reasons why they'll win this game. They're able to run the ball effectively. I think if they're able to run for 4 to 5 yards a carry, C.J. Anderson and Jamal Charles have good games here. I think that they'll have a chance here to win this game by trusting those guys. Those guys get 25 to 30 carries in this game combined, over 120 yards. I think they can win this game. Number 2, they win the turnover battle. That includes strip sack fumbles, an interception here. Alex Smith has played really great, but if they can force a turnover from Alex Smith, it'd be huge. You're able to almost flip field position and get your offense back on the field, take some more time off to get this explosive offense off the field of the Chiefs. So if they're able to do that, you have a chance. And a 3rd reason why is that Trevor Siemian is able to play efficient and effective as well, precise, no turnovers. That's something Trevor Siemian needs to do this week. Limit his, be smart with the football, be effective, be efficient, be accurate. Complete over 65 to 70% of your passes. You'll win this game. Throw for 200 yards, no turnovers. You'll win this game. So there's that. For the Chiefs, 3 reasons why they'll win this game. They can run the ball effectively. Kareem Hunt has over 120 yards and 20 carries. I think they'll win this game. Touchdown. Just big plays from this offense in general. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt, things like that. They'll be able to win this game. Number 2, they forced Trevor Siemian into a couple turnovers. He's turned the ball over a couple times this year in games. So, and I don't think he's the greatest of quarterbacks. I don't even think he's a very good quarterback. So I think that if they're able to get some turnovers here, that they can win this game. And number 3 comes down to that Chiefs defense. Just, getting turnovers, getting sacks. The Broncos offense really hasn't been able to move the ball much the last couple of weeks. So if they're able to, force them into 3rd and longs, they have a good chance of winning this game. And my prediction for this game is a Monday night game. It's in Kansas City. I think that the Chiefs will win 27-10. I just don't see this being a very close game. It's one of my highlighted games because of a division rivalry. I think the Broncos could win, but I don't like their offense. I like the Chiefs more in this game. 27-10, 24-10. Chiefs win in Kansas City on Monday night. They come out and play mad because they've lost 2 straight. So it's things like that. That's going to do it for me in this video. I think we're going to go ahead and jump into World Series game preview 3, 4, 5. And thanks for watching. I'm out. Peace.